Hello everyone, Martin here, back with another Doomsday video, and back by popular demand is my friend Kai. Welcome, Kai.
Hey Martin, how are things?
Yeah, good, very good, because we're gonna be playing some Doomsday, and I'll just quickly say that the video I did where you were like with you was like by a good distance the most viewed video I've had. So I'm very happy that you want to come back and play some Doomsday. So. I think we're just gonna quickly run over the list. It's not that different from what we have sort of become accustomed to playing. I have made a few changes to what I think you would want. So I have had Pierce as my one mana counterspell for a while, but then I went back and had it be a Pyroblast. But I know that you're still on Pierce, right? So I decided to put Pierce back.
Yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of text encounters like beat base, beat spell pierce. Like spell pierce hits so much,
Right, right.
and yeah,
Then there was another thing, and this is based off a conversation we had yesterday, which was that I have decided to include Predict, which right now doesn't have a picture because Magic Online doesn't like me. But yeah, Predict. And basically I cut the fourth Duress, which was also what we talked about. So I guess, do you want to say a few words on what your thoughts on why it makes sense to have Predict alongside Ideas Unbound?
Well, I mean, I think first we want to mention that you wake me up this morning by telling me that you've made a 5-0 beating Rock Delver in the last round. So that was kind of crazy already. You know, like my phone was like kind of like beep beep beep, and I woke up and then I had like this wall of text from you. It was really good to see. Like, and I think yeah, like you wrote like about 100 sentences about how you beat Delver specifically with like sending like 10 screenshots. That was all cool.
Right, right.
And anyway, yeah, and then I was half awake, and then we started talking about um having another card which draws more than one card.
Right.
So previously we only played one Ideas Unbound,
Yeah.
which draws like heavy, like very, very deep in the pile. Usually like some combination of Thassa's Oracle plus some protection or mana,
Mhm.
which makes it really safe. And you mentioned that in the game against Rock Delver that you had to pitch Ideas Unbound to a Force of Will to you
Mm.
know kind of
Right.
get your Doomsday going. And after that, you didn't really have another card to dig 2 cards deep or even 3 cards deep in the pile.
True.
And I
Yeah.
was like, okay, well, I mean, if that's the case, like, well, why don't we add another one? And since we're already on 13 pieces of interaction, which still think is quite a lot,
Right.
for the full set of days, Force of Will, and Duress, and then even the one of Spell Pierce, I thought, okay, um, because 13 is like such a huge number, and we can even board up to like 15, 16, 17
Right.
post sideboard. Why don't we shave one of them and have another powerful cantrip effect in our deck? And I also came from a paper tournament today,
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
in Tokyo, like how to do 50 people. It was pretty good.
Cool.
Yeah. So I'm kind of even with you, like I also did a 5-0. Um, and I cast predict. I took exactly this list, and I also so I took predict with me. I cast predict twice, but
Right.
unfortunately both times pre Doomsday.
Right. Right.
But it was pretty good. I mean, it was definitely like a draw 2.5 cards effect. Um, yeah, so I think the goal for today is to get rid of as many Ideas Unbound as possible to Force the Will and see how good predict is.
Right. 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 Okay, that's cool. So, just briefly about the sideboard. I have gone with your Dread of Night instead of Massacre. I still prefer Massacre, and I think I don't expect my mind to be changed, but we'll see. I definitely know that Dread of Night's a good card. I thought of another argument though for you about why I think Massacre is better, and that is because I think Massacre is infinitely better in the Esper Vile matchup, and Massacre kills Bendling Mage. So, but we'll see. We'll see. I haven't really faced any Esper Vile in a while, so. But I think
Right.
I'm gonna jump over and join a league and see how we go. Uh,
Cool. Yeah. About Dread of Night, I don't think that you bring in Dread of Night necessarily against humans or the Esper deck, because we bring in all the red cards against Esper,
yeah, yeah,
right?
that's true. That's true. But I've had success with my Massacre against Espervile. It's just like if
Right.
you have that and the red cards, it really makes it so that they have a hard time winning. Because there are
Mm-hmm.
some times where like it's kind of awkward. Maybe you blast a meddling mage and you have a counter war and you resolve Doomsday, but you have to pass a turn, and they have a vial on two, and then they rip a recruiter of the guard or something, and they rip a new meddling mage. And I guess you could put a pyroblast in the pile. I just think like putting a massacre. First of all, they probably won't see it and like see it coming, and yeah, no, I don't know. It's a nice
Mm.
extra sort of bit of insurance against them. Um,
Right. Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. I mean, I also gotta add that I don't own a Massacre anymore, in paper at least, you know.
right.
So
Okay.
so that's that. I usually tend to keep my paper collection that actually is the same as my Magic Online um
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean.
library.
Like,
So
I definitely enjoy playing like Magic Online with cards that I own in paper as well. Okay, so I would say this is a keep. What do you say, Kai?
oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, we're on the draw, so let's see how we go. Opponent mulligans to 5. Okay.
Sweet. So yeah, I don't know about you, but every time my own opponent mulligans down to like 5 4 cards, I every time like my first man, this is exactly it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
my first thought was he's on some sort of like a broken reanimator deck,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
like a
yeah.
deck which literally doesn't care about card advantage. Okay,
Yeah, so
you know.
we're in trouble here, I think. I hope this is faithless looting and that they don't have the pedal to follow it up, and we'll just have to sort of take it from there. Obviously, if they're able to reanimate something now, we just lose regardless because at best we can cycle into Force of Will, but we don't have mana to pay for the Chancellor tax. So we'll
Yeah.
see. Given that they aren't discarding right away, makes me hopeful that maybe it's not an obvious choice. Uh-oh, there's the Lotus Petal.
Oh wow. Okay, they're going off, huh?
It looks like it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
So this is Chancellor, so it's not an immediate instant death, but it is practically probably going to be impossible for us to.
Okay, and no, before we play anything, the question is like, do we want to show anything? Like at this point, like it's so unlikely that we win. I want to show him as much wrong information as possible. I definitely don't want to show them that we are on a combo deck. Ideally I want to show them that we are some sort of like a Delver deck. So maybe you wanna, why don't you play your Scalding Torrent, fetch Tropical Island, and preordain, and then concede or something like that,
Yeah, all right.
or even daze your own preordain or something like that, and then concede. You know, like do something really stupid, but let him believe
But
that you are on Rock
but
Delver.
all right, but I hear what you're saying. But why isn't it just better than to concede now and give him absolutely no information, so it's completely in the dark? Because we're giving him actual information. Then he will then know that Daze is a card that's in our deck. Do you know what I mean? Even if he thinks we're on Delver, I still think isn't it just better to just concede?
Yeah, I think I'm a big moron, and you should definitely concede here.
All right, all right.
Oh wow,
So
yeah, can we cut this part? Oh, okay, this was such a stupid advice I gave to you. What the hell? It's like searching trop. Like no, yeah, it's
that's
man.
fine. It's fine. It's fine. Look,
You know, like yeah. At these times, I wish like I was even like muted or something.
all right. Let's see
Oh
here.
gosh, I hate myself. Okay.
So we have basically these 3 cards to bring in. Sadly, I
Yeah.
didn't. This is whenever I face this deck, I wish I had 3 dedicated graveyard hate pieces, but we don't. So I think it's fine to cut Cavern of Souls. there is some corner case world where Cavern of Souls matters because they have Chancellor and we need to get Thassa to resolve, but I don't think that's a real argument because if that happens, then if we get to that point, we won't be resolving Doomsday, I don't think. So we cut the Cavern. I think we could probably cut the Predict or the Ideas Unbound, but like one of those two cards, and I think Predict is probably the card I'd cut. And then it's a question of what do we cut as the last piece? Because
Yeah, so for
yeah.
everyone who's tuning in, we just want to demonstrate to you that Predict is probably like the best card to cut in every matchup after game one. No, honestly though, the last card cut. So here's the thing. Once we resolve Doomsday, they can't interact with us. Like they have no counter, no removal. And so so I kind of want to keep the fast win available, like and like LED and IDS Unbound.
Yep.
I think it's not too crazy to cut another land though, like going down to 15.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna cut the basic. No, actually, I'm gonna cut the tropical island. There was a time at least. The thing is, this is a little pet thing of mine. I actually, when I'm against the combo deck, like if I'm against Storm and I want to cut a land, I thought I'd cut tropical, right? Because it's just like a wastelandable island. But then I thought no, because they don't have wasteland, so I'm gonna cut my basic island instead, because at least this way they have to respect a possible Veil of Summer. But because I think Black Red Reanimator has at times had like Magas of the Moon as their backup plan, I think it's probably better to cut the trop. So okay, let's see if we can get lucky here and at least get some interaction on turn one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably important to note that they are the beatdown and we are the control deck in this matchup. Mostly. Like I feel very uncomfortable keeping a very fast hand without any interaction. Let's say like we have a turn one, yeah, maybe like a turn 2 Doomsday, but no counters. Like I would probably ship. I don't know.
You mean something like this?
Well, yeah. I mean, this is close, right?
I think.
I mean, we gotta keep this. Yeah, we gotta keep this.
We gotta keep this. We absolutely gotta keep this because. Okay, so hear me out here. We could like duress them on turn one. We could also like keep open Limdal's Vault and then have Limdal's Vault Street Wraith into Surgical Extraction if we wanted to, or we could have Limdal's Vault into like Dark Ritual, but that would cost us the pedal. Yeah, I don't know, but I think we keep this, and let's just see if they have like a turn one like turn zero Chancellor. It's kind of annoying. And in that, if that's the case, I'm not sure what I want to do.
Oh, then I mean, whatever we do, I think we start with Fetch and Fortnite Gruncy and Cycle Street Wraith, I think, to get the most info. Because if the cycle card is, let's say, like a Forcible or Daze, I think that changes plans completely. Or a Dark Ritual, you know, it might go either way.
That's interesting because we're also just a land away from being able to Doomsday and Cycle Street Wraith into the top card.
Right. Also, our opponent doesn't know that we are on this deck.
No.
Right?
Okay, they go into.
I mean, he might know you because weren't you like trophy leader in the last season?
That's a while ago though. I haven't been playing for like nearly 2 months. I don't think so. I think maybe there's a the chance of that is probably smaller. They're mulliganing to 5 again, so we'll see. I mean, that kind of feels like that incentivizes just going for the duress, especially because they don't have the Chancellor.
Right.
And I actually kind of, at least for the time being, I think I want to duress first and then see if I want to do something with the Street Wraith.
Okay, yeah, duress looks very juicy. Yeah,
because I mean, if we just naturally draw a land next turn, then what I want to do is just go Doomsday, Cycle Street Wraith into probably Tormod's Crypt, and then take it from there.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Let's see.
Also, depending on what we see with duress, we might have to fire off like a Ponder or something else. Okay. So, man, that. Ooh. Okay. Interesting. Man, that Chromox is like taking Cromox is kind of tempting.
Yeah,
But
the problem is then they're gonna unmask us, and we'll be sort
right,
of in top deck mode.
right.
They can operate off so few resources, but the thing is, if we don't take either Faithless Looting or Reanimate, we basically leave them with just having to draw one black mana source or one like Badlands, I guess, one black red mana source.
Badlands, yeah, correct.
So I kind of feel like taking the Reanimate. Because that also means that they can't unmask us without also losing Grizzlebrand, unless, of course, they draw a black card. And we do
Mm,
kind of have redundancy for the Doomsday. Um,
yeah, yeah,
I'm not
right.
sure. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. So our hand is pretty strong against this card.
mm,
Um, so even though Unmask is the only castable spell, next except Chromox, I don't mind him pitching one of his black spells to get rid of our Doomsday or our
yeah, because I mean,
Ponder.
let's say we take the Unmask then. That's the other,
Mm,
and let's say they then rip like a red mana source. So they cast Looting. They draw two. They just need to hit something to imprint on Chromox, and they'll bin the other card and Grizzlebrand, and then we're dead. So
right,
I think
right.
I want to take the Reanimate. Are you down with that?
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
All right. And then I think we play out the pedal just because
Sounds
maybe
good.
there was a
Yeah, we
world
can
where
we
we.
can like emergency we can cycle into spell pierce.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, but our opponent is definitely like I what I like is that he's definitely um like mulling aggressively because he knows he has a game plan, like a specific game plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
I see so many people on Black Rat who keep very very slow sketchy hands and just end up not doing anything.
I think we let this resolve.
Yeah. Let this happen.
Yeah. The only other thing would be to cycle Street Wraith and hope to hit like Daze or Pierce, I guess. But I think we let this resolve, and they likely. Okay, they take the Doomsday. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right, so they have nothing really going on right now. So I guess I want to just end of turn Limdul's Vault here, and then get a Doomsday, and then have the Tormod's Crypt.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Oh, why are you casting this Limbo's Vault?
Mm,
So one neat thing you can do with Limbo's Vault is to pair it with our new favorite spell, Predict, right? So
yeah.
I mean, usually Limbo's Vault gets a Doomsday. Like I would say, like 90% of the time, I always go for Doomsday. But sometimes it's also okay to Limbo's Vault for like Predict plus almost any combination of other four cards, and
Mm.
then have like sort of like a value Limbo's Vault. I haven't really had it in a while, but it's certainly an option since both cards are available in game one.
Yeah, yeah. I see what you mean. All right, so here I want to get Tormod's Crypt, and then probably Ideas Unbound.
Yep.
And Ideas Unbound will draw us, I guess, what? A land and
Two
a
passes.
pedal,
Yeah, and Oracle.
and the Oracle.
Yep.
That should do it. Would be kind of upsetting if they somehow have like Red Blast post board, but that would they wouldn't board like that. I mean, I have actually seen lists have
I
Red
mean,
Blast in the sideboard, but I don't think it's very common.
right.
And even if they did, it would be kind of random to board it in blind in the side, for game
I mean,
two.
Martin. One consideration is also to not get the Thomas Crypt, but instead of Force of Will, because Force will probably like does the very same job as Thomas Crypt, but Force will also fights any like nonsense cards they have.
That's actually a good point. I really like that. I think we're gonna do that. So we'll be at 6. We'll
Right?
cycle be at 4. Force
Like
be at 3.
yeah, who knows? Maybe he has a stronghold gambit, or maybe he has a what do I know? Like
Yeah.
some wacky new tech.
Um,
So
all right. And I think we just pass
yeah,
here. There's no reason
yeah,
to speed things up.
yeah. Like passing the forcible up is this is life insurance.
Yeah.
It's very good. Okay.
So they're not doing anything right now, which I guess means they're probably looking through our exile pile. Which I think you should always do that if you're playing against Doomsday. I know sometimes, I guess
Right.
if it's 3 a.m. and you're falling asleep and it's the last game, whatever. But I
Right.
think like in terms of actually sort of playing
Yeah.
correctly, there's a huge amount of
Right.
information to be gleaned from that.
Yeah. So my round 5 opponent today, he was a Maverick, and well, that's his fault. But like he played Maverick, and I cast my first Doomsday, and I was like, okay, so this is the exile pile. Like, you want to take a look? And he's like, ah, no, it doesn't even matter because I don't have any instants anyway. It's like, okay, that's
Yeah.
cool.
All right, so our opponent has drawn another Gristlebrand, another Unmask, and they're unmasking us, leaving them with Chrome Mox, Faithless Looting, and Blank. And we have to cycle Street Wraith.
We have to, yeah, because we want to draw the
Yeah,
ideas and bond.
but we don't have to pay 1 life for the Force of Will. So
No,
let's just let
let it
them.
happen. He will probably take the Ponder. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Okay. You got it. All right. So here we go. There's the fish.
Yep. How it started. How we doing? How it's going? How it's going? How it's going? Yeah. It's
That's right. All right. Let's let me just quickly make sure. Yep. All right. So nothing really changes here. Would be my approach. I don't really
yep.
think we have a lot of maneuverability. And our opponent has mulligan twice to 5, so I guess eventually they're due to have like a 7 card hand that's keepable. So we just have to hope to draw better.
Right. Yeah, I know. Like this matchup is kind of terrifying sometimes. Because I don't know. Like Faithless Looting is such a good card. Like I would some. Oh man, this hand is pretty good too.
You think so? I mean, I think
It's okay. It's okay. It's
yeah.
okay. It's not pretty good.
They
It's okay.
they instantly mulligan to 6.
Interesting.
They're totally capable of finding a 5 card hand that beats this. Like for instance, our if this had been our game 1 hand, we would have still lost. But I think we can't really throw this away because we have
Yeah.
one solid piece of interaction. So
Right. Right, and yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, the more I look at it at this hand, the more I'm like, okay, well, uh, this is a key because of Brainstorm, right? Because of the 2 blue cards. Because both Dark Ritual and LED are not among the cards we want to have in our initial 7. I
yeah,
think.
and 3 lands is
I
1 land too many. I think from
yeah, but even Dark Ritual is like I'd like to see Dark Ritual as my I don't know my third draw kind of thing, and have as many daisy spell pieces and stuff like
all right.
that
Tell me
in
quickly. Do you
the
force a
opening concept.
Okay?
Oh wow, jeez, wow, this
It's very tough. Like they obviously aren't casting Dark Ritual to not do something that we need to force of will. So we're going to be losing this brainstorm this turn. Like I think no matter what. So the only question is if we feel like getting greedy and getting another card from them. So like,
So here's the thing.
yeah.
Yeah, so they have 4 cards in their hand.
Hmm.
The question is, so it's definitely gonna be some combination of Unearth and Exhume or something like that.
You mean
The question is,
in Tomb, right?
yeah, or yeah, and Entomb and Reanimate or something like that.
Yeah.
The question is, do they also have a discard spell
Yeah.
to pair this up? And it's very, very possible that they have some sort of like a Thought's effect, in which case we're super dead. If they don't have a discard spell, then they end up with Fatty in their yard, and we force the first
No, I think so.
Reanimate
All
spell,
right. So
or we force the Entomb.
I think
Either way,
we're going to force the Entomb. I think it's either forcing Dark
right?
Ritual or it's forcing the Entomb. And obviously, we let Dark Ritual resolve. If they then thought seizes, it's a we took the wrong chance or we gambled on the wrong horse. But I think that's what I feel like doing.
Yeah. I mean, so the question is like, do you believe that he has a discard spell of some sort? Yes or no? Because
Yeah,
that
that's
changes.
yeah, no, that's the only question. But because I think if we if we force this right now, then we lose our brainstorm and we're sort of just in top deck mode, and then they can just next turn go like Entomb, and then we have to we have 2 draw steps basically to get out of jail. So
Right.
I think I'm gonna let this resolve, and I'll take the responsibility.
Okay. Okay.
Um, okay, so there's the Entomb. I'm gonna force that.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah. They only have like 8 cards to get fatties in the bin.
Okay, so that paid off at least sort of for the time being.
Sweet.
Um, I think for the time being, also we don't play out LED. I don't
Yeah.
think there's a
We want to
reason.
find the next brainstorm ASAP.
Yeah. Okay. So they don't have anything yet. That's kind of bad. Well, one more turn and we can like force pitch Dark Ritual.
Yeah.
But let's see if we get it. Okay, we do.
Sweet.
I guess we duress them, right? I don't really.
I honestly I wouldn't, cause like so what can they possibly have? They have a handful of uncastables, right? So I would rather hold up Force of Will with Dark Ritual, just in case if they actually play something,
Okay.
because like it doesn't, yeah, like if you duress them and then they are like 1 card down, but it's 1 of 5 uncastables anyway, and then they rip something very powerful, let's say like a Faithless Looting, like I'd much rather counter that top deck Faithless Looting or top deck
No, no. Okay. I
Entomb.
hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
All right. So would you actually force of will the faithless looting if they get it?
Yeah, I definitely would. I definitely would.
Yeah.
I mean, what I imagine is that their hand is probably some combination of like fatties and reanimation effects, and
Yeah.
they're basically just waiting for like a spell to get fat in the bin.
Yeah, yeah.
So
There we go. Okay.
yeah, so I would definitely counter this.
Yeah. It's always kind of feel bad like to counter a faithless looting that can be flashback, but they aren't really close to having the 3 mana.
Right, and also our second Dark Ritual is kind of redundant.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
So yeah, like this play pattern is kind of reminds me of Vintage, where like people go crazy on the turn 1 and turn 2, and then it kind of settles down, and then both players don't do anything for like a couple turns. Okay.
That was kind of awkward.
Yeah,
All right, let's duress them here.
sure. Yeah. Like I
Okay.
wouldn't be surprised to see some combination of the cards
Okay,
I mentioned previously.
the
Yeah,
the take
that's
here is Dark
exactly that.
Ritual. Yeah, the take here is Dark Ritual for sure, right? Um,
Yep. 100%.
all right.
Okay.
So that's good to know. There are
Yeah.
like a couple of okay. So there's they still need. Wow, we're just completely flooding out. I think I'm actually
Yeah.
gonna play out the LED now. Just
If you want.
because, yeah, just because like we have other stuff to shuffle away on a brainstorm, and it's the obvious take on a discard spell from them. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, come on, something good. Nope. Well, that's at least another force of will. So they just need one more mana. They can flashback Faithless Looting. Okay, something good. Wow, that's
Interesting.
awkward.
Yeah, but it's still a shuffle. Like I
Yeah,
don't know. Like I don't think we can double time walk. Let them double time walk just because we get a Thomas Crypt. I don't know.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
Sadly.
man. If we had to predict in our hand. Okay.
That's true.
Okay. Though this is really decent though.
Yep.
Because it's probably gonna counter that flashback faithless shooting.
Yeah, I agree. Let's keep on to that. Hold on to that land for now. Oh no! Oh damn! They're gonna discard the Gristlebrand. Wow. Yeah,
Oh shit.
I kind of forgot about that. Okay,
Okay.
and we just draw another land.
Jeez. Okay.
Okay, so we got one turn. Well, actually, no.
We got two turns.
We can
Yeah.
daze. Yeah, but they might just.
Yeah.
Oh, entomb. Yeah, that's fine.
Uh,
So their hand is 3 unknowns. Lotus Petal. Okay. All right, so we have to counter this,
yeah.
and I'm gonna go like this.
I mean, you could have also just paid 5,
That's true.
right?
That's very true. I could have done that.
So I guess we even. You know, I made a stupid comment on playing weird stuff on game 1, and then you made this misplay. Okay, so I guess we even. Yeah. Oh, does he go for another? For reanimate maybe? Okay, sweet. Okay, so yeah,
I mean,
this is not too bad after all.
we're still
You
dead.
gotta rip something though.
Yeah, we're still dead now if we don't draw something.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Yeah,
Ah!
that's annoying.
Ah!
Oh well. Yeah, them are the breaks against this deck, right? That's just how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
We flooded out pretty badly, and yeah, I mean, we kind of wish now that we had taken the taken the Tormod's Crypt, but there was no way to know that, and we would be stuck with like really lame cards. There was also a world where that would end with us drawing the Thassa's Oracle, and they could potentially like discard it and reanimate it, and effectively, kill us because she wouldn't be in the deck anymore.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. I think the scariest thing as a Doomsday player is when you cast your Doomsday, but you also have the Thassa's Oracle in your hand,
Yeah,
and your
yeah,
opponent might rip that discard spell. You know.
yeah. I agree. I agree. All right, on the play for round 2. Let's see what we draw. Yeah, I like this.
Okay. Serviceable.
Yeah, serviceable. For me, the play is Underground Sea Preordain. You
Yeah.
could be
Yeah. Sounds.
you could make an argument for like fetching basic, but I don't think that's correct because we want to be like going off. And I guess
Yeah.
bottom the trop and draw the brainstorm would be my approach.
Sounds good. Yep. Sounds good. I'd also be happy if my opponent goes Wasteland Go, just because we have so many mana sources in our hand, and our opponent might think that he stole a game, but he clearly didn't. Oh wow, is this a mirror game?
What the hell?
What the hell? A non-basic land. Oh wow, it discard target Bullet the Delta.
You choose a non-basic land card from it. That player discards that card. I mean, I think I'm gonna let this happen.
I mean, this is a meme, right?
So they get to discard one of our polluted deltas, is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, it's basically one mana wasteland you kind of thing, but the land is in your hand. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah, just let it resolve. I mean, it doesn't matter. What the hell?
Yeah, that was kind of interesting. All right,
It's
so
kind of
here's
screwed.
what I want
If he goes surgical now, like that
to.
would
All right,
drive me crazy. Yeah.
all right. So here's what I want to do. I want to cast Limdal's Vault, and then just win. Um,
Yep.
and I think we're pretty likely to do so. But let's see. We
Basic
don't
four.
veteran
Wow.
explorer. Okay. So that is kind of annoying if they have therapy, but they don't.
I mean, not really, because you can cast brainstorm in response to like after you search up your lands, so you can do some
Yeah,
cool
but it
moves there,
still kind of messes up our line here, which is just to win.
right?
There's a dark
I
ritual.
mean, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, he's dead regardless. Yeah, unless he has like some sort of like another wacky mono black spell.
Yeah, well, you never know.
Hey, do you want me to find out if there's like any one mana black counter spell or something like that? You like a
Nah.
like a full spike or something? Yeah. Man.
All right, so this is Nick Fit, right? That has to be it. Veteran explorer.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go like this. Um, all right. What am I missing here? The pedal. Okay. So standard pile.
Yep. Standard pile.
Actually, you know what? We better put Oracle on the bottom in case something goes wrong, and we don't want to have it discarded. But I mean,
Yep.
what's gonna go wrong?
I see comment like he probably has some sort of like extirpate or something in
Yeah.
hand, you know?
A sort of mental routine I've worked up here is if at all possible, I'll put Days back as the card that's gonna be drawn again, which I wasn't
Yep.
doing. I mean, it's so unlikely that it's gonna end up mattering because the chances that they have a counterspell that they hadn't used already at this point is very low. But there might be some world where they try and get cute, kind of thing.
Yep. Good point. Good
And
point.
there's no reason
I
like
mean, but the same can be said about having keeping days now, because if they want to counter the LED, right? It's kind of 50-50.
yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. But like in the other scenario, you end up with a card that is 100% uncastable. And if it is 50-50,
Right.
then that seems like a bigger upside. But I don't know. Probably doesn't matter. So, they have anything?
Yeah, I mean, this looks like a pre-modern deck to me, right?
Oh yeah, that format. I haven't actually tried it.
Yeah, I don't know, like what is that mana base? So like snow-covered swamp and then like regular forest? Like what the hell?
So basically, the only card I really think we want is, based on what we've seen, is the second spell pierce.
Yeah.
What do we cut? What do you want to cut like Cavern of Souls?
Dude, I don't know, man. Like he could even have. I wouldn't even surprised if he has a Chalice on 2. What if he has a Chalice on 2?
Well, I mean, then we
Uh,
lose.
like yeah, right. Like it's like I definitely don't want to even lose a single game against this deck. Like I
All right, I hear you. So
like
what? Like,
don't we want to be as streamlined as possible? I would probably cut the Days, because Days is pretty bad against Veteran Explorer.
yeah, I was thinking about that as well. That's a good point.
And I don't know about upgrades, dude, but yeah, man,
Let's wait
it's
and see if opponent rocks up with like hateful artifacts, then a braid can come in for a potential game 3. But
right.
yeah, this truly is like the wild wild west. Encroach
Yeah.
that I and it had some sweet art too. It's like old border. I like it, but
It was Pocket Post, yeah.
yeah. All right, so I guess I mean I kind of want a Force of Will because I feel like I don't know what's going on, but I don't think I can mulligan this hand ever. It's like
Right.
against a non
Right.
reanimator deck, I guess. But
Yeah.
let's see. So they
So what I kind of predict is probably them having a very early Cabal therapy and naming Forcible first, and then flashback on Doomsday or something like that. So having Forcible in my opener is not like necessarily all that good.
all right. So
Okay, therapy.
so hear me out
Okay,
here.
so here's one thing. Yeah.
You
Do we want to wait like 20 seconds?
no.
Do we wanna-
Here's what you do. You can
Okay.
you click on one of your instants, and then in your opponent on your opponent's screen, it will say Neville Shoot is like paying costs, so they know we'll have an instant effect. You could do that if you
Mhm.
want to feign having like Force of Will, but if they're smart, they'll also be able to work this out and maybe name Brainstorm. I think I'm going to click on Dark Ritual. See, now it says like pay 1 black.
Right.
All right, and then I regret. I decide I'm not going to Force of Will, and watch them name Brainstorm anyways. I mean that it's a very reasonable name, right? It's I think a lot of people has it as their sort of de facto name off of a blind
Yeah.
therapy.
Yeah.
Dark
Right.
Ritual.
I
Ooh,
mean,
okay. That's not a
wow.
not,
Good read.
yeah,
Good
yeah,
read.
good read.
Oh.
Well, I mean, we say good
Okay.
read, but I mean it's a good sort of good choice anyways. So drawing the days makes me feel like casting duress is slightly more interesting, but I still think probably what we want to do is keep open brainstorm because I really don't want to get like have them just have their way with us with that therapy.
Right. Yeah. So what's very likely is that they have the second land and then play Veteran Explorer.
Mm,
We definitely want to keep that brainstorm up because like we definitely don't want to lose our both of our pre-lanes.
mm.
But I think as soon as next turn we want to fire that Triss off because I just want to see what's going on, man. Like I got nothing to work with,
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Like this fetch land like it could mean anything really. Okay.
I was gonna say it might be him, but I guess not. So what's this? Like Sylvan Library, maybe? Oh, it's Green Suns for 1. So what's that? Is it like Allosaurus? No, I guess it's the Veteran Explorer.
This is Explorer, yeah. So
Do you want to just
hmm,
like daze this? I
I
mean,
no
yeah.
I think I would let this resolve
But
and
dude, like
then
daze is not gonna be worth
hmm?
anything soon, right? And yeah,
No. So what you oh wait no. So what you can do is you can let the Green Sun resolve and then he's gonna flashback to Cobalt Therapy and then the Veteran Explorer goes on stack. And then on stack of that, you can daze the therapy and still get and you both get your 2 lands.
that's true. That's true.
Which basically means he has 4 lands in play, you have 2 lands in play, and the therapy's gone. If that makes you happier. And the Algon Sea is in your hand. It's what the hell? Why doesn't he
I don't know, dude.
what is going on, man?
I don't know. I think I want to brainstorm now. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, your opponent is not doing anything, so yeah, you better get just something going.
Okay, I think I'm gonna
What
put
is
back
happening?
Oracle and 1 Preordain, and I think probably I want to duress them now. Honestly,
Dude, I'm so confused. Like, what is going on? Like, what the hell?
Necromentia. Choose a card name other than basic land card name. Search target
You gotta
opponent's.
take this.
Yeah, I think we do, right? This is
Yeah,
like
it's a pretty bad card against us. Yeah.
so okay. So another they have Decay, which is kind of a blank, and then they have a Green Sun. So Green Suns can get probably a lot of scary stuff. Most likely, since I'm not seeing blue, it might get like Oof, or
Yeah.
maybe that's it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably on some sort of like a siege rhino deck, no?
So what do you want to do? Is like when you have to assume he's going to therapy us now, right?
Yeah.
Do we then let that happen, or do we brainstorm in response?
Yeah, we do want to brainstorm in response because he does know for sure that we have at least one Preordain in our hand.
Well, I mean, we've cast
Right.
Brainstorm, so he doesn't.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Well,
yeah.
the thing is, like, it is so unlikely that we shuffle away both Preordains if we clearly don't have a Doomsday.
Mm,
So,
okay, so we're gonna let this happen and get our two basics.
dude, that was such a weird sequencing. Like, why the hell? Like, he didn't know about our days, right? Wow. Yeah, he's kind of soul read us. Okay. Wow. Honestly, I wanna put back both Preordains.
We, oh yeah,
If
there
I,
is. Yeah, okay.
what do you think?
I think that's fine. And then like he might name Force of Will, uh, which would be
And
annoying because I
yeah,
kind of want to force that Green Sun. Okay, that was excellent, Kai. Very very good read on your part. They went with the one card they knew about.
right.
So what
Okay,
is
another card another card I could imagine from the Green Sun Zenith is probably some sort of like Leovold maybe.
mm,
Although I haven't seen a third color yet. It's Golgari pure.
I mean I think
Wow.
we have to fight over this
Yeah,
honestly.
I mean there's no other spell. There's no other spell
No,
left.
no,
So
no,
yeah,
no. And I'm gonna pitch Days.
yeah.
So they're left with a Dried Arbor and an Abrupt Decay, which is kind of bad. So we want to preordain into the other. I guess no. I think I want to fetch. That might be incorrect. Maybe it's better to keep the fetch land around, but let's see. Well, there you go.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay.
Hope
Yeah,
they don't.
just you know, yeah, just keep going. I was gonna mention that. So at this point, I would have done a different play. Just for people who are interested in like different decisions.
Mhm.
I would have played the fetch lane, and I would have waited another turn to draw the second preordain and
Mm.
then preordain twice on that turn. Just because if so with your line, like your preordain was golden, right? Like both of your cards were hits. But there's also a world where you cast your preordain and you have two bottoms, and then you're like in the same situation as in your last round against Reanimator, where you don't have anything going.
Mm.
And unless your opponent rips another therapy effect, I think we have the luxury with them having only Dried Arbor and Abrupt Decay to wait another turn and
Right.
cast two preordains. It's a very patient move, but I think patience is also really rewarding in Legacy. So
Yeah. No. I
okay,
I see
but
what you mean.
it doesn't matter anyway though because yeah,
All right. So here
the tank's gas.
here are the cards that we have to worry about them ripping. First of all, another one of this.
Yeah,
But we can't do anything about that. Um,
right,
another like sick card for them to rip would be like a choke. Um, which doesn't
right,
technically leave us dead, but gives them like a full 5 turns basically, because or 4 turns I guess, because we have to draw. No, we have to draw every card because they have decay as well, so we can't even play Thassa before being sort of out of cards. But we can't really do anything about choke either.
mm,
So I think we just I want to do this. I want to draw Ideas Unbound, cast it, and then just draw the entire deck with Edge of Autumn, and then we have a Cavern of Souls in case they like. Maybe that's wrong because if they were to rip say a Chalice now and make it for 2, we could just spell pierce it.
right.
Anyway, I think I'm okay with this. It's sort of we
Yeah,
should be sort of good unless they draw something crazy like the cards we just mentioned.
okay.
Uh,
I mean, yeah. I mean, another thing you could have done. Now it's late. It's all
hmm.
right. Is to make a brainstorm pile, because if they rip a choke, then you can still operate on the one underground sea you have.
Yeah, yeah, and then like have what do you call it?
But it's really hard. It's really hard to predict what they have in their hand. Like it's yeah, man. I really want to cast a surgical on his deck just to see what's going on. Like I've literally no idea. Like what was that turn one discard spell the other game?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Tell me about it.
Also, like so they rip a non-basic from your hand, and then they play a veteran explorer, and it makes you get more lands. Like I don't understand. Like what? Yeah, like what the hell? What's going
I
on?
don't know. Like maybe it's like you
Yeah.
said from like another format.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oracle is gas. Like it's yeah. You know, imagine if he would be on any other deck, right? Like this opponent with his mono Golgari pile, you know, he could be really problematic. Like I'm really happy that we have Thassa's Oracle as a win condition because it like I don't think that our opponent has any way to interact with Thassa's Oracle. But if our deck was, let's say, like Ad Nauseam Tendrils, for example, and our opponent all of a sudden has, I don't know, like an Isochron Scepter and Imprint Veil of Summer or some stupid
Yeah,
thing like that, you
yeah.
know? Yeah. Like these minor decks are very terrifying sometimes,
Yeah, I
especially
think
when you see what's
I
happening.
think that's correct. I think like for some not for some reason. I mean, being up against a deck like this kind of makes me think of like playing against Pox. Um,
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
and you know, decks that attack on like rip your hand to pieces and probably like have a lot of removal. I think it'd be kind of scary for your regular creature decks or like Delver, if you're
Right.
playing Legacy. But
Yeah, dude.
they
Like imagine if he rips a Gitrog monster or something like that, you know? Oh man.
yeah. But it is. I think I now this was a veteran explorer deck, which just has nothing to do with smallpox. But I think like those decks, both of those decks, traditionally struggle against combo decks. So I think we were fortunate in that sense, which I guess is also just what you were saying. Um,
Hmm.
all right, let's see here what the gods of Legacy will throw at us next. Ooh, another on the play. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, what's not to like?
Yeah.
All right, so question, and I'll tell you afterwards what my inclination here is. But in the
Cool.
dark here, do you play it safe and fetch basic island off Delta and ponder, or do you play underground sea and ponder, or do you do something else entirely?
I would I would I wouldn't do either of those plays. I would probably Delta pass.
Really?
Um, yeah, I would Delta pass because I want to see what I'm up against to have full information about our ponder. I mean, obviously we want to find Doomsday and Dark Ritual ASAP with ponder. I get that. But a turn two ponder with Delta up is so much better than a turn one ponder with only Underground Sea because we're forced to draw all three or none of the cards. I mean, this is a clear keep anyway. But um,
Okay.
yeah,
No,
I mean,
that's very interesting. Yeah.
yeah, I know that most people go with a turn one action spell, like cantrip of any kind, and I would definitely fire off a cantrip if it was preordained. If it was a preordained, I would definitely fire it off. But just because I see the delta already in our hand, and I know that I have a clean shuffle, like I can make this ponder so much better on turn two. And I still don't know what I'm up against, and it might be a matchup where we can go slow. It might be a matchup where we have to be fast, or we have to be reactive because we have to fire
I
up a brainstorm.
all right. I think you've convinced me to go with that. What I would have done if you hadn't been
Mm,
here would be to just go underground sea ponder, because I'm like I guess I'm just more aggressive, and I think just to say the argument that we don't know what we're up against. I think the fact that we have all this counter magic kind of softens that argument a little bit because re- almost no matter what it is, there are just limits to how badly things can go for us next turn. What I would be mostly concerned about on my with my line would be to have like for Ponder to not be gas, and we have to shuffle or whatever, and we don't get a third land, and then to get wastelanded, and then that sort of mattering. But I think you made some strong arguments though, and I want to see how it plays out. Okay, this Delver. I think we're up against Delver, but we'll see. Could also be a combo deck. I don't think Snow would ever fetch Volcanic in the blind like that. Okay, so question is now we actually get the opportunity to play Tarn and to fetch both of our basics if we wanted to.
If you wanted to. So it is. I mean, our opponent is most likely on Rock Delver. He can also be on some sort of like Sneak Show, or even the Mirror is possible. But if he wants to trade lands, I'm very happy. If he's on Delver, I would much rather have him Wasteland us than having Dreadhorde Arcanist, even though we can daze it. So I think we want to Underground Sea and Ponder.
Okay. I don't like very much when anytime I don't have a Dark Ritual, I don't like very much being on basic island. Okay, let's see. You could also have argued for the.
Wow! This is the whole menu.
Yeah, this is the whole menu. Okay, I want to put Pedal on the bottom, and then probably want to draw Doomsday just in case they like Wasteland or Delta or something. I don't expect to get discarded, and we have the counter magic to fight against that if that is the case.
Right. Oh, okay. I mean, if every Ponder you cast is like that, then what are you even talking about? like your preordained last game was insane too. Like, yeah, you got some god hands here.
Right.
Okay, so let's see.
Okay, so tapping out for Arcanist. I think this is actually one of those times where I don't want to daze. What's your inclination here? Because I think like because we can go Dark Ritual Doomsday next turn, and then we can sort of try and see if we can work out a pile that wins the same turn, that doesn't open ourselves up to disruption. But I think we let this happen regardless.
Yeah, we let this happen. So I mean, what most people do when they're on some sort of like a blue red or URX tempo strategy is that they fight over the Doomsday, and once the coast is clear, they really don't have anything else beyond that. So yeah, man, yeah, our hand is pretty much gas. Okay, cool.
Okay, so I think we probably want to play out our second or our third land. But okay, so the thing is, we do have the Brainstorm in hand, so we can win on this turn if we come to the conclusion that it's safe. But we then need to have an additional card in hand on top of the Brainstorm. And right now, the Dark Ritual will be gone, the Doomsday will be gone, and then some number of our counter spells will be gone. So just something to think about, that keeping the Tarn could do something here, but I don't think that it will.
Well, I mean, the thing is though, like if you have a fight over Doomsday, then you can definitely daze, which bounces a card back to your hand.
That's true. That's true. I do expect to have to daze, in which case I think we can just play it out now, because then we can just bounce something back. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be pretty disappointed if we lose this game, but it has stranger things have happened. But let's see.
Yeah. But for all viewers out there, this is probably one of our. I want to see it's probably like our third worst matchup in all of Legacy. Like Blue Red Delver is pretty hard to beat usually. Okay. Tanking.
All right. So that means they either have something that they're saving or that they have nothing. Is there a way we can build a pile that doesn't include that wins on this turn and doesn't include us sacking our hand to LED? I mean, probably, right? But the question is like, so what? Worst case scenario, they have like double pitch counter and a daze, or double daze and a pitch counter. I think.
Yeah. So yeah, I think there was like some sort of like a delay, maybe because you're screen sharing this with me.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, did your opponent basically just click OK right away, or like did he tank for a few seconds? Like, what is your gut
They
feeling?
they they tank for a little bit, but not very long.
Oh, okay, interesting.
All right, so we could um we could obviously just go for it, but we could also try and win via Cavern of Souls next turn. We could also try and let's say we make a pile that has, because they're tapped out now, so they can't bolt the Oracle.
Correct.
So let's say that we like brainstorm into like Street Wraith, Petal, Thassa, and we put back like Daze and Thassa, and then we Street Wraith. No, I guess, have we drawn one too few cards then? Yeah, we'll only have drawn 2 cards. Right. Like, let's say we make it Street Wraith, Thassa, Petal, and then 2 other cards. We brainstorm, which leaves us with the deck being 4 cards deep, and then we Street Wraith, leaving it 3 cards deep. So that's no good. Could we do like Ideas Unbound, Petal, Thassa, and then we brainstorm, draw those 3, and then how would that work? If we made the pile like Ideas Unbound, Thassa's Oracle, Petal, Petal, blank, right? So we brainstorm, we draw Ideas Unbound, Petal, and Thassa. We put back.
You won that. You won short, I think, right?
No.
Because that's, you need 5 mana, including the brainstorm, but you only have 4 mana available.
So we have 2 right now.
Yeah.
And then yeah. You're right.
But another thing you could do is so you could do the brainstorm pile, which is generally unprotected, but since you have a second underground sea, you could build in a duress, I think.
Yeah, but the problem is.
But then you'd lose the days, I think.
Yeah.
Because you played around days the whole time. He might have a copy or 2.
Yeah, I think I'm actually. I'll probably be okay, like passing the turn and then winning through Cavern next turn. So I think what they could do is like wasteland us. So if they wasteland us,
yeah.
No, it's not like it doesn't matter because that turns on their dazes. But let's see here. Okay, let's just try here. Cavern, Thassa, and I guess Ideas Unbound. Or I guess we could also just, you know what we could do? We could like cast Brainstorm now. That's bound to resolve. And then we could just cycle 3 times next turn. And draw all the cards, not having to put Ideas Unbound on the stack, playing around Wasteland better. But the thing about that is we're gonna drop to 9, and if that's our plan, then we have to take 4 more from Street Wraith. So that means if they just have Lightning Bolt, and they decide to like bolt Arcanist Bolt, then we're dead.
Okay. Another option you have is you can put a duress in the pile, and you can brainstorm right away into the duress and cast a duress this turn and pass regardless. So you pass with Forcible, Daze, Forcible, but you also cast the duress on them.
Yeah.
And then you go off next turn.
But that basically means that we go from having 2 force of wills to having 1 force of will in a daze, which might effectively be
and
as good.
and them being 1 card down, yeah,
Yeah, and then
and we
also
have
having
full info.
duress. Yeah, okay. I actually like that, but that means that we can't I guess we could ideas unbound next turn. So we
Hmm.
brainstorm, draw duress them, and then untap draw ideas unbound, and then just cast
Yep.
it for cavern, petal, oracle.
Yep. Makes
Okay,
sense.
yeah, okay, I like that. Let's put petal on the bottom, then cavern, then thassa, and then go like
Mm.
this. So I think if they daze this duress, or even this, I mean, if they daze the brainstorm, we're just gonna pay for it. But if they daze the duress, I think we just maybe let like not we don't daze back. Was my point? Because I think having the extra land
Hmm.
next turn is gonna be worth more, and we will still effectively have traded 1 for 1, like
Right.
taken a counterspell from them.
Yeah. And also, it makes our days better in the future. Okay, let's see.
What is this?
What, what
Mag
the hell?
Magmatic Channeler. As long as there are 4 or more instant, it gets pluses. Okay, so this doesn't do anything next turn.
It's a
It doesn't.
Tamagotchi.
Yeah. So they have
Okay.
Bolt and Preordain. What do you feel like taking here? They have the Preordain already in the yard. I feel like taking the Bolt because if they
Yeah.
rip a Bolt, then we're dead. When we're not dead, we can force, but I mean then that's kind of bad.
Yeah, I don't think it matters all that much, but yeah, you could take the lightning bolt.
I
Okay.
guess actually, you know what? No, I think I'm going to take the Preordain. Come to think of it, and the reason is
Okay.
that this means they only get to dig like cast 1 cantrip. If they
Hmm.
rip a lightning bolt, like a second lightning bolt,
Hmm.
then we can force it. I, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Okay, so this isn't rug. This is like blue red delver. It seems like,
Okay.
anyways.
So this magmatic channel is some sort of like a Tamagotchi fish, like wannabe Tamagotchi kind of card.
What's the effect? Discard a card, exile the top 2 cards of your library, then choose one of them. You may play that card this turn. Okay, so I mean it's kind of like honestly, it seems like it wants to do 2 things at once, right? It wants to be like a Tarmogoyf. It wants to be a 4/4, but then it also wants to not attack and instead like value loot.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like they're not gonna go for the bolt you twice move. They're gonna preordain here, and I think I'm gonna let that happen.
Yeah.
I would struggle for them to find a way to win through like
Okay.
our hand here, but
Mm.
I don't know. Famous last words and all.
Okay. Yeah. So ultimately, it would have been the best to just go for it last turn,
Yeah,
which we didn't know, But at least this is also not too bad because now we have full info. Like now we know that he has some sort of like a wannabe Tamagotchi, and he's maybe on more on a beatdown plan
yeah.
than on a holding up counter magic plan. So like I wouldn't be surprised if his list has, let's say, like the full set of chain lightnings, for example.
Hmm.
I wouldn't be too surprised.
All right, so they are they put one on the bottom, one on the top, so they liked one of their cards with preordain. Okay, so they cast a ponder. I think I'm just gonna let this. Not
Yeah.
gonna fight over that. Um,
And there's like very little cards he can find, right?
yeah. All right. So they
Yeah.
found another land. It was a
Okay.
non-shuffle, so they can't have force now because they have 4 red cards.
Right.
So
It's probably a base, maybe. I don't know.
nah, I don't know either. They have
Yeah.
the bolt. Yeah.
Yeah. I would be really surprised if that was a stifle. But I can't possibly imagine that a deck constructed like that would have stifles in it. I mean, it's definitely possible, but it's very unlikely. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. You know, Dreadhorde Arcanist already kind of doesn't play that well with Stifle because you can't
Yeah.
really use it together. But and then considering that they seem to be like a more aggro deck, like more heavy on the burn. All right, so question for you:
Okay. Sweet.
do you want to play out the Cavern of Souls here?
Yeah, I think I would. I
Okay,
mean,
because I think
do
I
you want
would
to risk
not.
anything?
No, but what can we
You would not.
risk? They have one card we don't know about. They have right
Right.
now two Dreadhorde Arcanist and the wannabe Tarmogoyf, so 3 blanks. Then they have a Bolt. Um,
Mhm.
so unless we're talking about cards that I don't know of or didn't, that are completely out of left field, like I don't know what it would be. Some like, is there a split second counterspell that I don't know of?
I mean, there's sun. No, there's not. I mean, there's sun shock, but sun shock doesn't do it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Let's go
because
with
I mean,
cavern
there's
then.
no reason for them to know about the cavern then. Is my
Right.
point.
Right.
We have these counterspells.
Right. You know, when you're talking about hidden info and stuff, like I don't think you should be talking to me because like I would clearly be going with some wacky rock plays instead.
All right, let's
Okay.
see. So they're pausing here, which makes me think that they found a counterspell. It might just be a daze, or it might be like a spell pierce. I don't know. All right. Okay. Maybe stifle then? Oh, sure. You can bolt it.
Cool, dude.
I love Thassa's Oracle. Hey, do you know it's a Danish guy that did the artwork for it?
Yeah. Jesper Ising.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's
Yeah.
part.
He was.
Oh, sorry.
I think so he planned on coming to Japan this year. But because of COVID, it got canceled.
Right.
To do
Okay.
like an art event.
I think he plays
Yeah, he
old
does.
school.
He does. Yeah, and Commander, I think too.
Yeah.
So so I was working at Tokyo MDG until July this year, and like he said something about, hey, like we can give you like art and like like the original art, but I'm really into Commander and old school. So do you have any Magic cards you could trade for and stuff like that? So that
That's
was
kind of
nice.
cool. All right, dude.
Yeah.
So listen. These 5 cards up here are what I would normally be bringing in against Rug Delver. I
Yep.
think it probably holds up here. I'm not sure about. I'm not sure how good it's going to be. Is my worry because if they are just like on firing off 1 to 2 bolts every turn, then these cards are probably sort of not very good at dealing with that. But
Mm.
this would be my normal bring in, and then I would probably bring out something like these 5 cards here. What do you say?
I would. Yeah, I'm pretty much on board with you, except that I would keep in velocity because I think they're more on a fast burn deck with cantrips and maybe a little bit of counter magic instead of being a full control deck. So I would first off start off with cutting our favorite spell, predict.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And probably keeping the LED because I think there are scenarios where we want to kill on the very same turn, especially because we have the defense grid also going. So
Yeah, that's a good point. That's something I think I need
yeah,
to think more about is like the fact that defense grid actually sort of is an argument to keep in LED against
yeah,
this type of deck. I think I've just sort of been
right,
autopiloting my removal of LED. Um,
yeah, and also like from like I don't know about you but for me like I usually pair cards together into groups and for example I group LED and Ideas Unbound as one unit. Like they play very well together,
Mm-hmm.
and they're usually pretty bad without the other, if
Sure,
that
sure.
makes any
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
It's like Tendrils of Agony plus Past in Flames, right? Like
Okay.
Tendrils itself is whatever, but in combination. Okay, anyway, so this hand, okay, it has stuff, it has mana and disruption. It just has very poor selection.
Yeah, but I mean, it has some, I guess, maybe not selection, but raw sort of draw stuff.
Yeah.
And I think, I think I'm likely to keep this because if we find Doomsday, it's amazing. If we find a cantrip, then we have a good chance of finding Doomsday, and we have my favorite disruption spell versus Delver. So in
Yeah.
Duress. So yeah,
Okay. Yeah, this could backfire maybe, but let's see.
impossible.
I also expect them to have the full set of Pyroblasts post sideboard.
Yeah, that's not unreasonable. Okay. Whenever this is not Delver, I'm happy. Basically, like whenever my Delver opponent doesn't, I guess strictly speaking, we didn't see Delver, but if there's no Delver in this deck, then I don't know what's going on. The
I
next,
mean, we didn't see any counter magic, so
no.
they could be like blue red,
So
yeah,
I think it
creatures that
probably I just want to fire off a Duress. Question is if we want to keep
yeah.
the Delta, or like play it out and fetch basic swamp. And I think I kind of want to keep it in case we draw like Carpet of Flowers to be able to get. And I think in
Agree.
this,
Or brainstorm.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I think in this position, if they have Wasteland, it's not the end of the world because we have these backup. And if they Daze here, I'm also completely fine with that.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, here we go.
Okay. They have counter magic.
They have counter magic.
Mono counter magic.
This, I think, I have a really hard. If I had a blue cantrip right now, I would be inclined to take the blast. As it is, I'm probably leaning towards taking one of their pitch counters.
Mm-hmm.
If they only had one brainstorm, I would probably want to take that. But yeah, so probably take the force of negation is my inclination here. What do you think?
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a very fine keep. Very fine take. Um, so against Delver, unfortunately, this matchup is very close and also like slightly negative because we as a combo deck we can't um ignore half of the cards, which is possible when you play Ad Nauseam Tendrils against Delver. Like at least it used to be.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so
But
they rip
okay,
a land.
yeah. So what I want to try to do here is I wanna try to blank the days, and that's very possible. And also try to blank the red elemental blast if possible.
Okay, Kai, I have a
Hmm?
crazy idea.
Hmm?
Okay, do you want to hear my crazy idea?
You want to cast that Street Wraith?
I want to cast a Street Wraith.
Yeah,
They don't they
that's my
they don't
thought.
have removal against it.
Right.
But it's probably too crazy because I mean, if they were on black mana as well, I would be really tempted because it has Swamp Walk. But as it is, the chances are that they'll be able to find a threat that sort of gums up the ground before that happens.
Hmm.
So that probably is. But I just because we drew the cavern here, it's kind of a.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
but
Yeah.
probably
I mean,
not.
we
Like,
also got. Yeah. I mean, we also only got 9 minutes on the clock, so yeah, just get something going.
okay, that's
Cool.
true. That's a good point. I think I'm not. We can cast it this turn anyways, so I think I'm just gonna fire off another duress here, and they can then brainstorm and hide their force, which is okay. And
Okay.
then depending on what's left in their hand, we might cycle Street Wraith and hope to hit a cantrip or something. But
So what was the condition again for the 1/3 to become a Tarmogoyf?
I don't remember something about them having
Okay.
like instants or sorceries in their graveyard.
Uh-huh.
So it's pretty. They're pretty easily going to get that to meet
Uh-huh.
that condition.
Yeah.
Okay, so that surprises me that they don't do anything cast brainstorm. I'm going to take Force of Will, um, and pass. I just became aware of our clock, which I hadn't really. Wow, that was that Doomsday before that really just ate up all the clock.
Right.
Okay, and they don't brainstorm here. Very conservative with their brainstorms. Okay, now they brainstorm.
I mean, if the street rate comes down, it's what, like that's a 7-turn clock.
Yeah.
That's kind of ambitious, though.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, I agree. Okay.
Oh man.
I think we play out this grid.
Yeah.
They only have 1 days last time we checked, and we've just taken 2 of their pitch counters. Would kind of suck if they just have like Spell Pierce or something.
Right. I mean, he's gonna start with a brainstorm. Oh, he has a spell pierce. Okay.
Yep. All right.
Yep. Okay. Shit happens. That's cool. That's cool.
Okay, there's a wasteland. Sure. Okay, so we know their hand again, right? Because they have drawn both
Yep.
cards that
Yep.
Okay. Um, Kai, if we just played out the Street Wraith, man, we'd be I think
And maybe you still want to.
maybe, yeah. Okay. Okay, one on the top, one on the bottom. They don't play a creature. You know what? I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, just do it. Like, yeah, you're not wasting anything. That's cool.
Okay, they're
Wow.
pausing, like they might have stifle.
Like their deck looks so much different in game 2 now.
Yep.
It's kind of insane. Like in game 1, it was mono cantrips and red creatures, and now it's no creatures and almost 0 cantrips, but a fistful of counter magic. So
This is gonna cost us our cavern for the pile, unless they end up sort of finding, I guess, 2 more wastelands.
that's
But
fine.
yeah.
I mean, with the LDS amount, we probably want to find another street raid, right? Like we want to get, you want to keep the beats going, I assume. Yeah. Dude, this is so fucking embarrassing, man.
So I mean, if they just
Jesus,
make
man.
that 4/4, then it's that's
I
pretty bad.
mean, like yeah, like a part of me wants to like start like countering all their threats, you know. So
Yeah, yeah, I know, I
this,
know. I feel the same
like this,
way.
oh man, this is like a game of limited. Okay, cool. You got a 1/1.
Okay, I think we just attack and then pass for now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No need to play our ideas and bound into the blast.
No.
Okay. You know, like now I kind of wish that we played the 3-8 like a
Yeah.
turn or two before the Dark Ritual, because of like how many turns have passed. Like it's turn 7 and they finally found a threat. They could have been on 11 life already.
Yeah, I agree. And we're never going to race this now because they are going to like find Bolt for it. I think we let this pass now and then hope to pretty much, I guess, just win um now, I guess. Like find Doomsday
Okay.
or what? Like maybe give it one more turn? Actually,
I
hang on.
mean,
Do we have
wait,
to keep this back,
hold it
right?
back.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for Arcanist. Yeah, hold it back.
So I think I'm gonna duress now because I think we're gonna need the mana if we want to do something. I don't think we can duress on the same turn that we try to win. Uh,
Yeah.
I think
Go through the motions.
I think I'm gonna
Keep the clock in mind.
yeah, I'm gonna take one of the blasts, even though that might seem lame. But I think taking the brainstorm when they have the Arcanist anyways, it's not. I guess now if we'd had the Street Wraith in hand, it would have been better. But what can you do?
Mm.
Okay. So what are they taking here? Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, did we have an endless chat in the Discord group and the Doomsday Discord group about people like whining about Retro Arcanist? And like we clearly have the answer in our deck. Like, you know, it's not very hard to oversee.
No, I mean we play 3/4s, right? I mean,
Yeah. Like real man play 3/4s.
so
No blast ball.
if you were them, would you be trying to like find a bolt to trade here or something, or somehow find a way to protect your Arcanist? No, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
Wow. Okay.
unless they have more meat going. Okay,
I mean, we still trade.
yeah,
Uh,
that's one.
all right. Okay, there's a wasteland. Another Delver. Sure. Yeah, I think we if they take the trop here, we're dead. They do. I mean, we're likely dead anyways. Let's not counter. You know, we might draw land here, and we do. So Ideas Unbound might draw something spectacular, but they
Yeah.
also have the Daze. Their hand is Daze and Red Blast. Oh wow, so
Yeah.
close, right?
Oh yeah, so close.
I
Oh
mean,
man.
but I
Okay.
mean, we're not dead. We just pass, and we if we draw seriously, if we draw a cantrip, no. Ah, that's the thing. That was it. That's what
Yeah.
I always forget. Okay,
it's
let's discard this.
it's close to ancestor. Yeah, it's close to ancestor recall, but it's not ancestor recall.
Yeah. All right, let's do it like that. Maybe I wasn't supposed to keep the one force. Yeah, that was actually dumb. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was supposed to keep. I guess a land would have been better.
Okay, we dead. We dead. You can concede. It doesn't matter because they have blast for our cantrip.
Yeah.
Even if you rip one.
Yeah, and even if it wasn't like for the blast, for the cantrip, like let's say we ripped Edge of Autumn, we would still eventually put a blue spell in the stack that needed to resolve in Thassa's
Right.
Oracle. So that's
Yeah,
fine.
I think you can take. Yeah, you can
Yeah,
save time now.
I've conceded. My computer is just slow to pick it up. All right, so we're gonna try and play really quickly in the last
Yeah.
match, in the last game. I mean, do we want a Lotus Petal over? Maybe not, right? Because they've shown themselves to be patient and like rather they weren't very fast. I think I'm happy to just play this out.
Okay.
All right, let's hope for a good 7. Yeah, my computer is sort of suffering a little bit right now, so I think we're going to be losing seconds on the clock on that account because I think right now we're actually in game here. Yeah, we've lost like 20 seconds. Yeah, I'll take this, and I'll lead on Tarn into Trop.
Yep.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah, I leave this a little bit more up to you. Not because I'm a trader or anything. Like I just don't want to waste any of the precious
Sure.
5.5 minutes.
Sure.
So like I know we've played, like you and I, we played this matchup more than enough, and like a hand like this, like we just keep slamming stuff at their face. Like um ideally we want to play around days, but um, yeah, in some situations it's not possible, and they can't have everything always. So, and this hand is kind of stacked. If we find any sort of business, then we're in a good shape. The Carbon of Souls kind of sucks, but yeah.
So interesting they have Bloodstained Mire. It must be because of Basic Mountain.
Right.
Right, okay. Delver. So I think if we find Doomsday in the next 2 turns, I think that means we win. Beautiful.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, that was very, very, very,
Very
good.
good.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to play a Daze Proof defense grid?
Yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
Or actually, I'm not sure.
Oh wow! Like, what if you make a you put black in your mana pool, you play defense grid and keep black open, and if defense grid resolves, then you can Doomsday this turn.
The
And
problem
there's no
is, oh no, actually, yeah, that's a good point.
yeah.
Uh,
Make yeah cabin on Wizard or Mofolk. Play grid, and if it resolves, then go Doomsday and kill next turn. Like this is the type of hand, and this is the type of hand you need to have against Delver. Unfortunately,
mm,
yeah, there's like no fucking around, like no cantrips into cantrips. Like we don't have that time. It might work against other matchups, but against Delver, we want the highest density on all business, mana, and protection. Like we want all of them, and we want all of them now.
yeah.
It's kind of demanding. It's yeah, but okay,
So they were thinking, okay, it's in.
sweet. Okay, let's go.
So I'm gonna try and work out that you know that they might have like a wasteland.
Sure.
Uh, so why don't we? It's hard. So we want Edge of Autumn. We want Thassa. We probably want like a Street Wraith.
It can even be a brainstorm pile. You know that, right?
But look, listen. The thing is, no, we just have this. It's locked unless they can remove our defense grid or our Carpet of Flowers because they can only waste 1 land. So no matter what, we will have 2 blue mana next turn. Either through the cavern and our tropical island, or through one of those and our carpet taking land from them. So I think it is
Okay.
pretty simple. So I'm gonna go like this, I think, and the last 2 can just be blanks. Also, because we don't have the time for this. Boom, 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 boom. So I guess if they flip off Bolt, drop another Volk, and bolt us down, then we're dead. But you know, that's kind of it. They don't flip. That's good.
Cool. You know what I think? Since they thought a little bit about the defense grid, my read is that they probably have a 2-drop in the hand, but they also have a daze, and they wondered if it's worth dazing the defense grid, but not be able to cast a 2-drop.
Okay, that was actually something I didn't factor for.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Okay.
we might still be fine here. If we draw, if Lotus Petal is the top 2 cards, like both of our top 2 cards are Lotus Petal, it's kind of annoying.
Right.
But let's see. Also, I'm scared that they have bolts here. 2 bolts basically kills us, or probably kills us because we'll have to like a Street Wraith. But yeah, let's see. All right.
This is getting kind of intense, huh?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Like when like this is such a big difference between Magic Online and paper, where you can literally think for a pilot for about like 10 minutes. Like that's not possible. Like today in the tournament. Okay, sweet. Yeah,
I think we ponder here,
yeah,
and that's it.
yeah.
Boom,
Cool.
got there.
Yeah,
All
good
right.
against Elba.
Yeah, that was a really really awesome hand that we got though. Whew, that was close. I always get like really tense when the clock starts to become a factor.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see if we can keep on the momentum and win round four. That was an not a traditional Delver deck. I guess you'd say that was blue red, but I never saw chain lightning. Um, so we saw the Delvers, the Arcanists, and then that magmatic red creature there. Uh,
Right.
so I guess I would, if you swap that creature with like what was it called, the Sprite Dragon, that newish
Yeah.
one, then I would expect like a lot of burn. But I don't know. It seemed like they were just sort of stacked on controlling. Well, I don't know. Who knows,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, Sprite Dragon would have been infinitely worse for us.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think like these days it's kind of ridiculous how dominant Rock Delver is.
Yeah.
It's so dominant that a deck like Blue Red Delver is looks so minor that it like we don't even know what a Blue Red deck looks like these days. It's so yeah, it's it's such a sub archetype in comparison. I don't even know if Sprite Dragon is a must have threat in Blue Red Delver, or if it's Young Pyromancer, or if it's this Magmatic Man, or
No, and it's
even
funny.
Tree Nemesis. I have no idea.
It's funny too. Like I get the feeling that around like springtime last year, like around February, March, blue red was a much bigger factor in the format. Like at that point, I don't think Rug Delver was that prevalent. Not as much as it is now. It was still like it's not like it wasn't being played, but I feel like at that point, Blue Red Delver was just a lot more prevalent than it is now. And then I don't feel like Rug. I could be completely missing something here, but or overlooking something, but I don't feel like Rug got any like significant printings. It was just that at some point someone decided to really like build Rug with Okos and Arcanists, and then things just clicked and people really picked it up. And then it just, yeah, like you said, now it's like no one is really playing blue red because everyone is just on the Rug Delver train.
Right. Also, like, didn't it take like way too long for people to understand how powerful and potent Arcanist is?
Yeah, I think so. Like I remember listening to
Right. I mean,
podcasts and hearing like previews when it was spoiled, and people weren't that excited because it only attacks for one, and you have to you become graveyard dependent, and there were honestly like some pretty renowned voices in the legacy that were sort of not really expecting a lot from that card. Um,
right.
and I'm not sure like what it's one of those cards. I think when you see it, it doesn't immediately scream to you how insane it is. But when you start playing with it and against it, it just becomes painfully obvious that it is just really, really, really good. All right, this username sounds familiar. Paradise Lost. I think where they is it because they're on the leaderboard? Yeah, okay, that's just it. They have a lot of trophies. I don't know what they're playing, but I think this is a fine hand, even though we're on the draw.
Yep. I don't think I've ever played against this guy. I yeah, I don't remember.
Smells like Delver. Okay. So here I definitely want to fetch basic island and just cast a preordain.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, so that was actually good. I definitely want the Dark Ritual. I'm not sure about the Limdal's Vault. Like, Limdal's Vault lets us next turn, like, before we give them their third turn, it lets us, or rather, sorry, before we take our third turn, it lets us cast Limdal's Vault and find Doomsday. But at that point, we'll be Wasteland proof. It'll be susceptible to daze. I don't know. I don't know. I think maybe I don't like it too much because, yeah, I'm not gonna grab it. Just because it means that we can't duress them on that turn, and
Yeah.
ideally we duress them the turn before we cast Doomsday. Okay, they don't flip the Delver. That was pretty important for us. Okay. So I think I'm okay casting Ponder here, and because I kind of want to bait them. All right. They don't take the bait. I think I shuffle. I don't think we want any of these. Another duress. Okay, I'm gonna fire off a duress. Okay, they're doing something. Brainstorm.
It's almost kind of weird how they didn't have a turn to play, like how auto included a turn to Arcanist is these days, right?
Yeah.
Like Legacy in 2020 is really like tapping out turn two for other Arcanist or Silver Library for the most part.
Yeah. Sylvan Library is also incredibly scary for us.
Yeah.
Like, that's one thing that I miss about playing Ad Nauseam Tendrils is the fact that you could sometimes punish people on their life total. The fact that we have no way, aside from the Street Wraith, and we all saw how that went last round.
Yeah, I mean, you got one punch in.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. But like, I just loved being able to. It's like, okay, you're at 10. Okay, well, I mean that's a pretty fast clock. This is going to be hard to beat. They're going to flip the Delver.
Right.
I think we have to take a pitch counter, but I don't know. What do you think?
You think so?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I mean, we have another duress effect, right? The thing is, like, if they rip any blue card, then, yeah.
The thing about
I think we want
to. They can.
I think we want to raise here.
They can only rip a blue card, unless it's one of their other two lightning bolts, right? Because they will for sure have made sure that they're going to flip the Delver, so it's going to be off of a spell, and the only non-blue spells are like the burn spells. So they are going to rip a blue spell, I think. So I think.
I mean, the Delver is going to flip 100%, right? Like he played a brainstorm.
Yes, exactly. So I mean, if we take the bolt, that means we shave a turn off of their clock. All right. So imagine this. Imagine. No, it's also not clear for me if they are gonna they might use their bolts proactively if they think we're storm. We could at least hope so. I think I'm gonna go with my inclination here and take Force of Negation. And they obviously aren't going to fetch now to bolt us because they want to flip their Delver. Oh, what?
That's interesting. Okay,
that's very surprising.
They didn't have anything. Okay, all right.
And they don't flip. Wow. Okay. Very interesting.
Okay. Yeah. So them not flipping makes your decision of discarding the Force of Negation so much better.
Yeah. Okay, and they drew a Scalding Tarn.
Okay. Wow.
All right, so the coast is clear if we were to just draw the Doomsday now, but we didn't. We could preordain into a Doomsday.
Sure.
Okay, no. I think I'm gonna bottom both.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And let's pass.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they bolt us now. Okay, they don't. Still no flip. Wow. We've gotten very lucky. Was I supposed to duress them and take the force before? Wow, they are really not drawing well.
Yeah. Okay. This is way below average draw they have.
I think we have to take to cast Brainstorm here though, even though it sucks to give it
Yeah.
up. Oh, that was so bad. We're also drawing incredibly poorly right now.
I mean, the fastest Oracle kind of blocks the Delver, right? No, joke aside. No, joke aside. This is dog shit. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so
So,
let's put back Thassa, I guess,
wow.
or maybe I was just thinking maybe we could keep her because it makes building the pile. No, I don't think so. Let's put her back, and I guess put back one of the lands. Let's put back the trop.
Probably trop. Yeah.
And I guess I don't mind duressing them now and taking that force. Or actually, do we even take the force, or do we now take a bolt? I now think we probably take a bolt. I think we take a bolt because
yeah. It makes sense. Wow. It's kind of ridiculous how how like no one's really doing anything.
okay, wow, they flip off Brainstorm. That's pretty good.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Like in this situation, the brainstorm is so good, it's almost worth forcing.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, but I don't think we. Well, maybe. No, I don't think we can because we. I don't know. I'm not gonna force it. I think we're gonna lose here because it's so hard because we don't have either Doomsday or a draw spell. We really bricked hard on that Brainstorm, unfortunately. And we need a force because yeah. So my reasoning is even if we draw Doomsday now, if we'd force their Brainstorm, so we know that force is gonna Doomsday was gonna resolve, but then they still get to like keep their force of will and untap and then draw something. Plus now the bolt is a thing in their hand.
Lethal, yeah.
Well, not quite. Like yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, if we Doomsday and then pass, we basically can't Doomsday and pass. So I'm gonna fetch here. It's funny they didn't play out their Wasteland. Probably thought, probably brainstormed it back actually. Are you kidding? Wow. Okay.
Did we just put it back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this is rough.
Well, I mean, if our opponent had flipped Delver like on the first attempt, we would just be dead now. Let's look at it that way. Okay. Preordained is something, I guess. So is Ponder.
I think the spell we want to find the most here is Brainstorm. Brainstorm into Doomsday plus a draw spell, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what I was doing. I shouldn't have shuffled that. I should have taken the Ponder, but yeah, so they can bolt us and then hit us down to 3. And then we can't both fetch and force of will. I mean, it wouldn't be unreasonable for them to have found a third burn spell. Okay, ponder. And there's a wasteland. They do not shuffle on the ponder. Okay. So far we haven't shown them anything that it couldn't just be a storm deck. So I'm just gonna concede. I'm not gonna force it.
That's okay.
All right.
I wonder how much it's gonna impact their sideboarding, because I think that the way they sideboard against Storm is kind of similar to Doomsday anyway. Maybe the number of bolts they keep in.
Yeah, maybe. Um,
Okay, we want to do the same as last round.
yeah, but yeah, I want to keep in the LED. You've opened my eyes for that. I think that's kind of neat. So probably cut these 5 cards
Yeah.
for these 5 cards.
Yeah. So I usually do the very same, except that I cut the Street Wraith for the Lotus Petal, because I want to max some mana, and I don't really like the pay 2 for cycling all that much.
Yeah, I can see that, except like it's sort of the
sometimes
same
you
as
also
with
have to-
Defense Grid. It's
Yeah.
like with Lion's Eye Diamond, like Street Wraith is when you have grid, they can't bolt you on the turn.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
And the
No,
carpets kind
that,
of we get saturated on mana a little bit with the carpets. At least we can run that risk. That would be my reasoning for it, but I can see your argument too. I'm not sure. I guess I feel a little bit like I'm not fully dressed if I don't have at least 2 cyclers.
yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, like LED plus Ideas Unbound plus Cyclers plus Defense Grid is kind of like a nice chain, you know.
Okay, so this is a mulligan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As much as we like to see Doomsday as an opener. Okay. Interesting.
yeah, we keep this, and I think we bottom. We probably bottom LED, even though LED lets us
Yeah.
do some things.
No, I'll bottom the LED too. Yeah. Okay, let's find some. Man, you know what? I think the best hit with Ponder would probably be the Lotus Petal.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think we take this, even though if we risk missing on a land and then having wasteland. But I mean, so be it. That was bad.
Yeah, but you know, like any wasteland they throw at us, it makes also them a little slower. So, I mean, if they have a wasteland now, yeah, it would have been a soul read. But okay,
So
this really smells like a red elemental blast.
yeah, for sure.
I think we just still gonna fire it off.
Yeah, we're gonna play into it, and I guess you could argue the days here to replay our land, but I guess not. What do you say?
I mean, the merit of dazing here is that you also have another land drop available.
Yeah. And also, the daze is going to get worse progressively, but the daze right now is what is letting us potentially like resolve Doomsday. Yeah. But that is not going to remain correct. I think I'm going to let this happen and just pass, and then like hope to maybe draw a black mana source next turn, and that the daze is good enough there. Luckily, they didn't have Wasteland. If they go Arcanist here, I'm gonna let that happen, and then hope to win next turn, or at least to Doomsday next turn.
Right.
And we are rewarded, at least, you know. It would appear so.
Wow.
So what do you want?
Win here.
We could, but it would require them to only have one interaction, one spell that interacts,
right.
and that can't be days, unless they use it at the right time. So there's a world where we're supposed to Dark Ritual twice here to play around a daze, it means we can't then win. Actually, no, that's not true. Actually, you know what? We're going to do this. We're going to do this because if we do end up having to daze something, we can then return a land with our own daze and then still win. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so there was Force of Negation. So we have to hope they don't have a second pitch counter. If they do, then, you know, they drew well. All right, I'm going to fire off this just to see if we get lucky.
Yeah, maybe you find another daze.
Close, but no cigar. It's over.
Yeah,
it's over because they're going to refuel now. I mean, their one card in hand could be a non-spell that they then can't cast with with the Arcanist, but it seems pretty rough.
I mean, it just takes forever to cast this Doomsday, right? Like we only have the Trop in play, like it's blue-green.
Yeah, imagine if I had returned the Trop with the daze instead. Okay, so what is force targeting? It's targeting daze. So at least our Doomsday is going to get exiled, so they can't surgical it. I'm just trying to work out which of these two lands to put on top. I guess I'm going to put Scalding Tarn on top, so we have the option to shuffle. And I don't think I'm going to Duress now, even though we have the mana, because I think if they have a cantrip, it's just going to go into the graveyard, and yeah, that means they cantrip one time less, but I think the Duress has to take a counterspell.
Yeah.
Okay, so they saw 3 force effects on their second turn without casting a cantrip, which is okay. I mean, that's fair. So we dropped 13 here. All right, so do we fire this off and duress them and hope to like hit Dark Ritual? That seems pretty unreasonable when you consider the fact that we have 2 already in the graveyard. So I think we're gonna.
Yeah, I kind of value the Underground Sea on top. Like we're giving our opponent like double, triple time walks here, but there's a world where opponent doesn't get anything going, and Arcanist is cool and all, but it only hits for 1.
All right, so
we are like,
how do you feel about casting Duress now? Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's cool.
So they might have.
Yeah, maybe we get lucky and cast Doomsday next turn.
Okay, so they just have a land. At least it wasn't a wasteland. Okay, no cantrip. That's big. Delver. That's kind of scary. I think I fetch here. Oh, that's so gross. Okay, watch them flip on like a bolt or a brainstorm or a cantrip of some sort.
Yeah, I mean they got a scry effect on Delver with the Misty, so okay.
Okay, so
that's a really bad flip though. Okay, they drew it.
Yeah, I mean, we can't win.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is like we need we can't pass anymore. Okay, Brainstorm is really good though for passing.
Oh my god! Did that just happen?
Hey, wait, do you have another green source?
No! No! Oh wow!
Oh no, this would have been game, right?
I'm not sure, but
1, 2, 3,
No,
4.
no,
Wait.
it actually probably would just about
Oh.
not be game, right? Because
Wait. No, it would have been game because like. Oh no! It would. No, you have to put 2 back. Okay, my bad. Yeah,
so let's say
but
yeah.
but the thing is like you pass turn like he drops you down to oh no then you gotta fetch. Okay, anyway, yeah, we even if we had a Bayou in our deck, this hand would not do it because our opponent's gonna hit us down to 2. We're gonna fetch. We have to fetch, and then we can't Doomsday anymore. So we dead.
Hang on. Wait,
Right?
wait. So we are at 6 life right now. Imagine if
Yeah.
our opponent draws like another Dreadhorde Arcanist, for instance. Their hand is Force of Will. So they attack, and they drop us to 2. Let's say for some reason that they fetch on their upkeep right now to sort of not draw land. I guess they would even want to draw land, but let's just for argument's sake they do. I think we're not dead, so let's let's do it like this. We're probably dead, but we're not actually dead right now, right? We'll drop to 2. If they drop a land, they can hardcast Force, then we're dead. If they drew a blue card that can pitch the Force, then we're dead.
Yeah.
And I think we need them to fetch a land.
For a copy to become a Soul Ring, or like basically Mana Crypt.
Yeah, but the problem is right now. So, let's see. So
yeah, we only have 4 mana.
Yeah, we have 4.
Oh, hold on though. Hold on. We can make a brainstorm pile though because we have the blank card in Pollute Delta.
But the problem is that we can only Edge of Autumn as a free cycler because of our life total.
Ah, okay.
Let's see what happens here. They might just have drawn a blue card anyways to the Force. Okay. Man, imagine if this blue to Delta was like a non-fetch land. Let's just be sure, because I'm pretty sure. But so let's say we edge into Brainstorm, and then it kind of stops there, right? Because then we cast Brainstorm, we're tapped out.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
And we hit like let's say actually hang on, let's say so man, no, we brainstorm into like land and LED and no. Oh man, that's close. It's close though.
Yeah, it's very, very close. Yeah. I tried to figure out if there's like any line.
So if we had like 2 Edge of Autumns in our deck, then that would have done it. I mean, our opponent could also just be trolling us here and have like a pitch card for the Force of Will. But if we had two Edges of Autumn, that would have gotten us there. As it is.
See.
Yep.
Yeah. You know what? It's not in our deck right now, but a card which would probably win us the game would be Darkness.
What does that do?
Oh, it's fog for 1 black. Because we can we can fog on our opponent's turn, and then Anyway, yeah. I think any line involves Street Wraith, so it doesn't do it.
No, I'm just gonna concede. That's too bad. If anyone watching out there, if you saw a line, you can please put it in a comment. I would love to see it.
Yeah. Have you ever considered a second Edge of Autumn at any time?
Not really, no.
Yeah. Okay.
No. But I mean, let's just see here. If Polluted Delta had been like Island or Volcanic or whatever, then we also win because then we can just edge into Ideas Unbound, and draw 2
Yep.
petals and a street and Thassa. But
Right.
yeah, too bad. All right, so we lost to Delver, and that was okay, that was game 2. So we would still have had to win game 1. Game 3 on the draw. But yeah, we'll see. So we faced 2 sort of nonsense decks and 2 sort of hard opponent decks. Like Black Red Reanimator is I call it a nonsense deck because that's how I feel. I know it's a real deck and it's good, but it's not really a deck where it feels more like a sort of flip the coin kind of deck. And then we faced that really weird Veteran Explorer deck in round 2 with Encroach and and then Delver twice, and we're 1-1 against Delver. So yeah.
Right. Right. Did I tell you about the matchups I faced today in the paper tournament?
You mentioned some of them, but I mean, go ahead. Maybe our listeners or viewers wouldn't mind hearing.
Right. So yeah. So I went to this paper tournament after a long while, after a long pause in Tokyo. Yeah, again, like about 50 people, and I had some good games, you know, like against Elves, Store, A&T, and Awesome Tendrils, Four Color Snow, Burn, Maverick, and except Elves, they all got 2-0, you know, they all saw a lot of fishies, yeah.
That's nice. How was the burn matchup? I know that's something that a lot of
Dude,
people playing Doomsday kind of wonder about.
yeah, I mean that was my round 4 opponent, right? Like so like we both sit down, like it's like yeah, you always on 3-0, that's kind of cool, okay. And then I start with like, you know, Underground Sea, go ahead, and then he goes like Mountain into Goblin Guide. I'm like what the fuck, you know? I asked him later, like, didn't you see any Okos or Aurors today? And
Right.
so now, yeah, like he had to look it up the day before, because he's kind of new to Legacy, but I guess
Okay.
he got paired against Delva like 2 or 3 times. Yeah.
All right. So we are on the
Oh
play,
yeah.
and we get this. And so
Okay.
my inclination here is probably to duress on turn 1.
Okay.
You don't feel that way?
No, that's cool. That's cool. I like it. Yeah.
So the
If
only
this was a post
yeah.
if this was a post board game, I'd more be inclined to cast Preordain. But since we don't know what's going on and they could be on a turn 1 combo deck, maybe. I don't think it's too unreasonable.
The only question is what do we fetch out here?
We're a
Because
little soft
yeah.
wasteland, right? If you go for Underground Sea.
Yeah, I guess we can cycle Edge of Autumn in response and at least like draw an extra card.
Yeah, I like that.
So I think just sitting on Basic Swamp is a little bit uncomfortable.
Right.
Okay, what's this? Chain Lightning Okay, so this is basically Rug Delver again.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take the Brainstorm here
Yep.
and hopefully win next turn. So the only relevant card they could draw here is either Wasteland or Daze, I think. Or I guess a Cantrip, which they drew a Cantrip. Wow, they're like fully foiled out. All right, they bottom both of their cards.
Sweet.
I think we just go for it, honestly.
Yeah. Just go blind and all in. Yeah. Especially if they bottom both of the cards.
Yeah, I mean they're also just they've sixed. They're just sort of what do you call it? All right, so we're gonna cycle Edge of Autumn into Island, draw Island, cast it, cast Brainstorm, drawing LED, Street Wraith, and Thassa's Oracle. We can get to the bottom of the pile if we want to, but there's no real need. And we could also hide the Cavern of Souls.
Okay.
So let's just see, like, cycle into Island, draw, cast Brainstorm, that's one more card, and then Street Wraith. Yeah, this is fine. All right.
Yeah, it's kind of neat to get almost a free win against such an opponent in game 1. Like Delve is really hard to beat in game 1, I think. Like most of the time we get stomped on. Just because how fast they are or how medium our keeps are in game 1 because we don't know what we're up against.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And put another way, I think if we lose game 1, I think it's really tough. I think it's very hard to win game 3 on the draw post board. But all right. So I think we just go same procedure as last year.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm still feeling that loss we just took the last round. Oops.
Yeah. Do you think you wanna drop the predict after this league?
What do you mean after having cited it out in pretty much every? No. Honestly, no. I feel pretty good about like having it. I still want to try it out a bit more. It is true that against Delver, you want to side it out because that is just it's sort of the antithesis of a Delver like a Delver card because we don't want the game to go long. We don't want to win like that. And having said that, I think we can't measure it right because that's been 3 of our 5 opponents. All right, this is an interesting hand, but I would definitely mulligan this. What do you feel like?
Yep. Agree. Unfortunate that it is a Cavern of Souls.
Yeah. All right. So I want to keep this, and for me, it's between sending back one of the lands or the Ideas Unbound.
I probably should back the Ideas Unbound. Like mana's good. Mana's key.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would play this game in a way that to kind of show like I would expose dual lands, just play them out and try like bait a wasteland, or make him feel that we are short on mana. Oh, especially now.
Yeah. Maybe I should have cycled the Street Wraith and hope to hit like a cantrip. Well, it looks like they are sort of struggling a bit. I'm not sure. They shuffled their last ponder. They don't shuffle here. Okay. I guess they're going to drop a Delver here would be my assumption. Yep. Okay. Wow. We are just...
Wow, this is so bad. Out. Okay.
So I'm going to brainstorm.
Yeah.
One, we drew another land. It's so bad.
Yeah. What if you fetch and cycle now, just in case we find like a preordain or like a ponder.
Maybe, I don't know. I think like the upside like, of having the Street Wraith in hand, if we find Doomsday, is pretty big.
I know, but don't you want to cast a blue cantrip while they're tapped out on red mana?
Yeah. Okay, so we drew more mana.
Okay.
It was probably the best of our mana spells, but still, or like mana cards.
Okay. Okay, well now it's easy. Like, top deck as many brainstorms as possible, right? Like this hand needs a lot of fixing. I don't even think that one brainstorm does it. Like we need 2.
Yeah, probably.
Like we ended up with this almost like unkeepable hand now.
Well, they didn't flip the Delver. That's the upside.
Yeah.
So, question here: if they don't drop another land, do you daze a Dreadhorde Arcanist? Okay, never mind. Well, I guess maybe still. Well, they played around the days. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I mean the rest is a start, but I don't think we're winning this game, honestly. Like we are so far behind.
Yeah.
and we are 2 brainstorms behind basically.
Yeah, and they're gonna be
So
their Dreadhorde Arcanist is online next. So I think what I'm
yeah,
gonna do is I'm gonna dress them, and then I'll probably just concede to save time. I just want to see if they have anything spicy.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have 2
Okay.
burn spells as well. I'm gonna concede.
Yeah, the hand is kind of stacked. Okay.
No reason to show them the carpet, even though it's probably they could probably work that out. You know what? Last game, I'm sorry. Last match. I'm still thinking about this. If we was it a ponder or no? It was a brainstorm. I brainstormed tapping my tropical, which on the face of it seemed like the reasonable thing to do, because if we hit a black source, we could then hardcast our Doomsday. But the thing is, we were sort of going nowhere with that, because we would then drop to half our life and have to pass a turn. So if I'd actually tapped an Underground Sea, I could have cast Carpet that turn, and then on this following turn had that extra free mana. So that's gonna stay with me. All right. So that's twice we saw Chain Lightning. Maybe that's just random, or maybe they have more than one in their deck.
I thought that most decks run the only have 5 burn spells, like the 5th burn spell being the one chain lightning. Okay. So this hand is not ideal, but it's okay.
I think
It's
so.
like Fleming. Yeah, it's too good to ship, but it's also not something to be super excited about.
Like, we can ponder off the trop and hit no, I was gonna say hit Dark Ritual, but no, we need to both hit Dark Ritual and Doomsday. Anyways, I'm gonna keep
Yeah.
this, and I'm gonna ponder turn 1. Only question is if we want to save the trop. I guess not, since we have Pedal.
Yeah.
Okay, they keep 7 as well. Let's try this. I mean, it's not the worst, but I don't know. What do you think?
So the problem I see when with shuffling this ponder is that we only have the one brainstorm left, and the brainstorm has to do a lot of heavy lifting because we need to find Doomsday and also a little bit more mana. So I think we want to draw. I want to say both ponders. I don't know. Maybe Ponder and Wraith is better than Ponder.
Yeah, I think so. So we have the choice to cycle if we feel like that's where we need to be at.
Right.
I think I
0 mana draw into pile is also kind of important.
yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pass here. Yeah, if they just go Volcanic Go, it's a little bit scary in terms of having that brainstorm resolve. All right, so question time. Do you cycle here and take the hit on the life total to get a look at 3 fresh cards, or do you just accept that one of them is going to be Ponder?
Yeah, I would cycle here, but then I wouldn't cast Brainstorm. I would cast Ponder, right? Oh, do you want to Brainstorm instead?
I want to like increase my chances of casting Doomsday this turn.
Gotcha. Okay.
And for that to happen, we probably need to hit like both Doomsday and a Dark Ritual, or a Doomsday and a Lotus Petal.
Right.
I don't know.
No, Brainstorm is definitely the more aggressive play. But I also know that we have to be aggressive in this matchup, especially with Daze.
Yeah.
So I don't mind, but generally I cast Ponders before Brainstorms.
Yeah, okay, that's reasonable. Now watch me grab a
Go through the motions, but in general, like if you have to shuffle with Ponder, then you have a random card which you then want to put back with Brainstorm, and not the other way around.
Yeah.
But anyway, here we are. Okay.
I think I'm gonna put back the Cavern, and then for me it's between like days or a force, and I guess we have to pick days then.
It's a days, yeah. I don't think we can put two lands back in our hand. Like yeah, the tempo loss is way too big.
Yeah.
So, okay.
All right. And now I want to ponder.
Yeah. Play out pedal before.
Oh, okay, I didn't, but they didn't punish
Okay.
me.
Okay.
I shuffle there,
And,
and we just draw
shuffle.
another dark ritual. That's kind of bad. All right, we'll see. See how we go. We're not dead yet, but now this ponder has to do a lot of heavy lifting. Okay, they
Right.
don't flip Delver.
I mean, we kind of close to what we want, right? Like we only need Doomsday. We have mana, we have counters, and then unless we get to a very low life total, we don't need a cantrip. So
Okay, so it seems pretty likely that they have a red blast.
yeah.
And I think we almost have to have this ponder resolve. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. If they blast me days.
I agree. And I'm gonna ponder off of Underground Sea in case I hit like Carb to Flowers.
Yeah. So what we're looking for is, I mean, obviously Doomsday, but yeah, there's this. But since we also have the Delta, if our ponder is like another ponder and 2 blanks, I would definitely keep that too. Okay, well, it's garbage.
Yeah. Okay, we're getting pretty punished here. So if I was them, I would brainstorm here. Yeah, okay, they do that. So the race is on, and I think again, like we're down to now almost having to draw a brainstorm and have it resolve because of all the crap
Right.
we have like 3 bricks in our hand, the 1 dark ritual and 2 lands. And they flip it off, flip lightning bolt here.
Yeah. But you know, the matchup is so bad that I think the brainstorm play was fine. Like sometimes you have, like in bad matchups, you have to get a little ridiculous and make, I don't want to say like suboptimal plays, but very aggressive plays to kind of outdraw them, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I see. I agree. I conceded because we're dead.
That's cool.
We're
Yeah.
at 1 effectively. Because they're rolled. So, all right, that's too bad. That was sort of not what we wanted, but probably close to par for the course in terms of the Delver matchups. We won 1 and lost 2. On a good day, we win 2. On an average day, we probably lose 2. And on a bad day, we lose all 3. Something like that.
Yep.
And then we took the loss to Black Red Reanimator, and that is just like sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. I think I'm still sort of positive in that matchup if I look at my results, but
Yeah.
on any given Sunday, you know. All right, so and yeah, I think I'm gonna keep testing with predict, and and see how I go. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean, what if I told you that I the card I sided out the most today in the paper tournament was also predict?
Yeah. No, it's a good point.
But yeah, I don't know. Like I think we you have this in some depths. You have this one card you always side out the very first. Like it was for example in Ad Nauseam Tendrils, it used to be a Chromox, for example, which I almost always cut at almost no matter what my matchup was. And like you always have the sort of like the 60th card, which is the weakest.
Yeah.
And predict is kind of, yeah, I don't know, like fighting against other very redundant cards. So
Right.
yeah, I don't know. It can't be anything, but like the how the main deck is built is so robust.
Yeah.
These days that it almost doesn't matter. Like it's almost like a luxury slot, I think, at this point.
Yeah, I feel that way
Yeah.
too, and I can see what you mean about that. Like everyday cat, or some decks at least, having that one card. For me, in the Nauseam Tendrils, I would often side out my second Past in Flames because
Right.
I would expect them to bring in Graveyard Hate.
Right.
But that didn't mean that it wasn't like justified to have it in the deck in the first place. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll see. But I think I'm going to call it here. And yeah, thanks Kai for hanging out and playing some Doomsday. It was awesome.
Yeah. So next time we gotta do this this 5-0 thing, huh? Get a
Yeah,
trophy finally.
yeah. Third time is gonna be the charm. All right.
Okay.
All right,
Sounds good, man.
so I'm gonna say call it here, and I want to thank anyone that's been watching. I hope you had a good time, and yeah, I'll be back at some point with some more Legacy action.